Hello everyone, I am Taureor and welcome to another one of my House of One 4 challenges. Today we're going to play as Bhutan, that tiny little nation over here, and our goal is to take all of Asia. Well, at least all of continental Asia, because I really don't feel like island hopping. Anyway, let's try. I actually am not sure if I'm going to succeed in this one. I had a strategy for it planned because I've had it on my waiting list for a while. However, that strategy is no longer valid, so I'm going to have to adapt to the situation and see where that goes. There are two valid options here. We need to ally ourselves with Japan or the Soviets first, and that will determine the rest of our run, basically. I think I'll try Japan, and if I fail, then I might try the Soviets. Anyway, first political effort, we need to change ideologies to join either the communists or the fascists. Next, we don't even have good weapons, so let's start with that. As for construction, let's build a land force. I suppose 4 will be enough here, and let's try and go to 6 over here. Probably won't have enough time. We will see. Next, well, there's no next. Let's just unpause and wait for political power. Our plan will largely depend, believe it or not, on whether Spain becomes communist or fascist. With political effort done, we can hire an advisor. We've decided to go with Japan, so let's get a fascist demagogue. As for the next focus, we're going down this path here. Actually, I could have gone to limited conscription before I hired him, because we are not in such a rush to switch ideologies, but hey, it's too late now. Also, we'll get militarism quickly, so we'll have enough manpower. The best doctrine for us will actually be in the Grand Battle Plan doctrine. I don't necessarily like it normally, but we will have to defend quite a bit early on, and it's going to be very helpful. We do have some points to spend. Let's get limited conscription. Nationalism focus done. Let's go with militarism, the single best focus there is in this focus tree. Open up political discourse. Spanish Civil War. Now, this will determine a lot of our strategy later on, so we do have to pay close attention to who wins in Spain. We're going down this path all the way before we start doing anything else. Also, with militarism done, we can modify our division templates. Let's make some mountaineers. 2 battalions per unit should be enough. We only have 2 research slots, so we do have to limit ourselves, but we will make up for it later. Right, first 6 units were deployed. Let's train them up. Also, we need to hire some generals. Come on, be good. Cautious, no. Puzzle leader, not very good. Let's try again. Inflexible strategist, perfect. You're going to be my field marshal. And you're going to be an unyielding defender. How's my fort construction going? Not great. Maybe I should have stuck to 3 here. Ideological fanaticism is done. Wonderful. We're going to move to technology sharing as soon as we can. And in the meantime, let's get some factories going. And we could actually switch governments right now if we discredit the government, but we can still get a little bit lucky and get events that will let me save those 50 political power points and not discredit the government. So let's wait. We're not in a hurry. 2 units here and 4 units here. Japan is attacking. We should now get involved. We are at 43%. Okay then, let's discredit the government and hold a national referendum that will turn us fascist. Now we can join Japan in the war against China. Let's ask to join their faction. And now they should call us to arms. Here we go. Let's join immediately. Now I am at war and in an alliance, so I can do technology sharing, which means extra research slot. Let's see if this will be faster. It is 45 days only. Let's do that then. Let's get an army defense expert. And our war goal is complete. Should I attack immediately? I suppose I can, and you can keep training. Let's attack. Tibet should not pose a big threat to me. I could even try and invade them, but it is very likely that I would suffer very big losses doing that, very big unnecessary losses. Now we have called Tibet into this war, and they have joined the Chinese United Front. Now we have to rely on the Japanese to, defeat all of them, while I provide a distraction. We will be defending our territory, our well-fortified territory, and distracting the Chinese troops, so the Japanese can have an easier time conquering them, and then we'll reap some spoils. We are mountaineers defending in the mountains with a defensive field marshal, a defensive advisor, and a defensive doctrine, so we should be fine even against overwhelming forces. Did I mention I hate those events? Now this is going to take a while, because we need to wait for the Japanese to beat China whilst we provide a distraction. But we are getting a little bit... Oh crap again. Ambusher is actually quite useful to us, because it gives us extra entrenchment and extra recon while entrenched, so it is wonderful for defense. That's the third time I'm doing this. It's apparent we're not going to have any political power this run, because the game decided it hates me. The enemy is exhausting themselves upon our borders, and we have 6% war contribution just because of that. And extra research slot, that will make 4. Our defense, 377. Experience, entrenchment, terrain, country, commander skill. Wonderful, isn't it? Let's delay our construction research. We have more pressing matters to attend to, namely all the computing machines. We got 4 bonuses from secret weapons, and I'm going to use them on this, this, and this, and get a ton of research buffs just from that. Republican Spain has won the war. It is very likely we will be turning communist then. I do have quite a lot of war participation, 5%, without holding any territory, so I'm going to try and get Japan to give me some. I don't actually need any of this territory. However, if I hold something that is important to them, that they are going to take, as one of the first actions, then... Oh, can I take Beijing? That should be quite expensive. Then it will cost them more to take it, and thus I will be able to get more stuff in the peace deal. Yeah, they only believe I've earned enough to get 1 bit. Let's take Beijing because it has quite a lot of victory points. Gimme. China is pulling their forces back, which means it will soon be possible to take Tibet. And now we wait until these guys attack and lose their organization, and then we can strike back. Like now. Now this will require some micromanagement. Orders given. Let's see how that goes. Now the Japanese won't give me anything else because, well, now I'm controlling Tibetan territory. But if all goes well, I'm going to be controlling all of the Tibetan territory very soon. Tibet has capitulated. How long? And yeah, there it is. Okay, it seems like my plan worked. Tibet and Xinjiang are still up for grabs. Yay, wonderful. Now, do we have enough points to do that? That's another matter, but they are up for grabs, and I do need them because I need to connect my territory to the Soviet Union and to Afghanistan. Let's shadow puppet everyone and hope they don't spend their points on screwing me over. Take over all of China. All of China, that is, left. Okay. And that is it. This is the Thunder Dragon Empire. Now we have 2 options. We can keep doing what we're doing, or we can get a puppet. However, with the amount of factories we have, it would be a huge waste to not go after the final research slot before doing this. Now the plan is to deploy as many units as we can, so we have the manpower in the bank, so to speak, and then release our puppet. Let's also start justifying a war goal on Afghanistan. Hopefully we can get them. Extra research slot 2. Let's deploy all these units. And then now let's make a puppet. Communist China, here you go. Release. Did you guys maintain your manpower levels? You did. Okay, cool. Now, we have a puppet with infinite manpower. Why Communist China and not China? Well, because they have better stuff, better modifiers, and a focus tree. Anyway, now with this puppet, we can make units. We can make lots of units, lots of very powerful ones. Let's make a colonial template of the Chinese. I'm going to need some more generals. Anyway, this guy is going to set a trap. We're going to let the Afghani in here and hopefully encircle them. Communist Revolutionary, please. And we finally have 5 research slots. Great. Germany's attacking Luxembourg now. Oh yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to Europe. But Poland is almost taken over. And so is Luxembourg. Anyway, if my predictions are correct, Republican Spain and the Soviet Union will crush Germany together with a little aid from the Allies. How long until my war goal against Afghanistan is ready? Guaranteed by France, seriously? Bloody hell. Why would you do that? Stupid France. Well, my whole plan has gone to crap. because I'm not interested in fighting allies just yet. So unfortunately, with the chosen course of action, we do have to wait for the Soviets to be fighting Germany and for us to be communist. Spain is actually going to be quite powerful once they are out of, recovery after the Civil War. But if they join against Germany, I think there's a pretty good chance of communist victory. Now we have enough political power and war support to go to war economy. How's my communist support? 24. That's fine. It's probably going to stagnate around 40% or something like that. We will have to help it with decisions. We need to ditch Japan for the Soviets, and with the Soviets conquer Germany and Italy and get some production potential here if we can, and then use the Soviets to take out Japan. And then turn against the Soviets. Let's open up political discourse. And the final competing machine is done, which means our research is extraordinarily fast now. Yeah, I should really go to free trade. Should have gone to free trade at the very start almost. The research bonus would have been very useful. Okay, here it goes. Germany attacked the Soviet Union. Now, we're going to observe the situation, but I'm pretty confident the Soviets will first lose some ground, but then start gaining it again. And Republican Spain should help once they join the Comintern. And here goes. Now what I want to do is also join the Comintern. As you can see, Germany is clearly losing. In the meantime, I'm heavily investing in my infantry. Japan demands French Indochina, and I can get my equipment done thanks to focuses. Producing the best guns. How's communist support? 36 only. Bloody hell. See, Germany can't push even a tiny bit into the Soviet Union. The Japanese are preparing to fight the Soviets. I wonder if they would manage. No, I don't think so. The Japanese are also about to join, to enter a war against the Allies, which is not something we want to get involved in. And when they're getting beaten by the Allies, we can come in from the other side with the Soviet help or without it and beat them up. Almost there, but we must remember that, oh wonderful, this is all that we needed. So now we discredit the government. Now communism is at 48, and with this, it is at more than that, 53. We can switch national referendum and join the Soviet Union in their alliance. First, of course, we need to leave the Japanese alliance. Leave faction. Thank you very much. Join faction. Oh, you will not agree? Why? Maybe that will change when they realize we're also communist, and it did. Ask to join faction. Hello, Soviet Union. Ask them if they want me to join their war. German-Soviet War, enemies. Hungary, Slovakia, Vichy France, Kingdom of Romania, Germany, Italy. Go. And we have joined the war. Should I call the Chinese Empire in? Yes, I think I should. Shouldn't the United States be joining the Allies now? Maybe not. Now, we're going to be throwing tons of our troops against the enemy lines, and they're going to be dying, but our manpower is practically infinite, and that is going to give us some war participation. My goal here is to get some production potential from Europe, if I can, and then have a powerful Soviet Union at my back when I face Japan. Finally, the United States is joining the Allies, which will hasten the defeat of Germany. And the Lend-Lease from the Allies, that is juicy. And I realize this is going to be long and tedious, but at some point we will win, and I don't really care what we can take here. Let's do total mobilization. I'll reduce consumer goods factories. Fall of Rome. Well, that was quick. The UK is doing quite well. 3%. For Bhutan, that's pretty high. I was expecting the Soviets to provide better infrastructure. Italy will probably not last long. Japan, how are they doing? Quite well. We're almost in Berlin. If I could be the one that gets it, that would be quite helpful. Wait a minute, so Vichy France has switched to the French Commune. Vichy France has switched to communism. Well, there should be an out of the war for them in such a case, shouldn't there? Anyway, we're progressing through Germany. The Yalta Conference. Well, that can work in our favor if we play our cards right. Now, maybe Soviet Union will be willing to give me some control. How about Brandenburg? Can I get Brandenburg? I could get Brandenburg. Well, that's amazing. Give me those. All those juicy factories. Yeah. United States stand against fascism. That's a bit late, isn't it? Japan is actually doing quite well. Well, they will be taken care of, but for now they're doing quite well. Just a moment, and the Germans will be surrendering. They will still have to deal with the Italians. German Reich has capitulated. Good news. Oh, got our first dockyards. What do you mean we have no ports? Oh, we hold a dockyard, but not a port? Well, that has changed now. I need at least a few convoys, so I can actually transport troops navally, which I can't do now. The war is about to end, and I'll have to, well, work quite hard to actually get something. I'll do my best, of course. Oh yeah, then Lee's, gimme. And it should end now. Here it is, Italy has capitulated. Okay, good. What can we get? Actually, we can get quite a bit of Germany. Not much else, though. That's fine. All I actually need is factories. All I need is factories. Let's end the turn. And the conference. Good. Very, very good. Now I finally have enough factories to fund my campaigns, my future campaigns, against everyone around. Infrastructure and civilian factories. Military factories will ensue, however, they can wait a bit. Now, does Japan have a non-aggression thing with the Soviet Union? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. Alright then, but first we need to prepare an attack. Had a bit of a break, and I've set up my forces for the invasion of Japan. Hopefully that will be enough. How is my reserve of guns? Quite huge. I could actually switch them over to larger unit templates. Let's do that. If we were communist instead of fascist when we set this puppet up, we would have gotten not 30% of our troops, but 10% of our troops in these templates, so we could have a lot more. But once I reduce their independence, it's going to be slightly better. No, it's 20 for me. Wonderful. Infantry template 1. Yes, let's use this one on all our colonial templates. I will not have enough infantry equipment. I will have almost enough infantry equipment, but we're producing it rapidly, so it should not be a problem. I have also changed my economy to be limited exports, so that we can get all the steel we're actually extracting to be used in production. Let's start justifying on Japan. Let's get North Korea as the goal. 30 days until we can attack the Japanese. The Soviet Union attack Lithuania. Ooh. Were you guaranteed or some? Ah, crap. Oh, bloody hell, Soviet Union, you idiots. Are you at war with the Allies? Yes, you are. Moron. Oh, Joseph. Well, I am a healthy buffer between them. So there shouldn't be any fighting in this area. And our justification for North Korea is ready. Let's attack and call everyone in. Chinese Empire and Mongolia and Republican Spain have been called in. I wonder if the Soviets will accept. Dangerous borders. Well, maybe we can rectify that and then just use you for the final invasion or something like that. How is this a dangerous border for the Soviet Union? Oh, right, they count Manchukuo as well. Well, once I take that, they might join. Reached the sea. Glorious. Yes. Oh, Soviet guns. Thank you. As you can see, Japan is slowly, gradually being taken care of. Spain is getting into France. Bravo, Spain. Oh, how far we've come. 1,000 guns a day. No, Soviet Union, I'm not joining your war against the Allies, at least not yet. Our problem is that we have absolutely no naval strength. We'll have to build it up. And it's not easy in the area. I don't need the defense guy, let's take the maneuver guy instead. Who has the upper hand right now? It's difficult to say. But it looks like the Soviets don't really have any way of hurting the Allies, except for Spain, and they're holding their own against Spain. So it seems like the Allies might have the upper hand in this, because they can attack the Soviets, and the Soviets can't really attack them apart from the Raj. And Shanghai shall soon be ours. I suppose I could garrison the ports, but they seem to be more focused on defending the territory I'm attacking than on making attacks themselves. Unfortunately, at this point, the game is running rather slowly. East Germany and West Germany remain neutral. If I start justifying on them, it's very likely that the Allies will guarantee them, but it is not certain, and these countries usually don't have any armies. East Germany is almost certainly safe to invade, so let's start with them. Should have done that immediately. I'm not sure why I did not. Japanese are relentless. Just need to take as many provinces as possible. They should be on the verge of capitulation. Yes, they are. It controls 0 victory point. Oh, right, wrong one. Manchukuo. 97, 98. Come on, one more province. Should capitulate now. It did, which means I should be able to call in the Soviets. Come on. No, still no? Maybe I'll need to do a little bit of cleanup. Yes, there is still a bit. Get here really quickly. Finally. Thank you very much. Now the Soviets should give us naval superiority, and they are giving us naval superiority. You guys will be able to land in Japan. Although if I made this army much smaller, it would prepare faster. So let's do that. We've landed. Take the port. Yeah, I don't usually land in ports because the AI used to garrison them quite well. And now we have the port. Perfect. Everyone, just go to the port. The north is better defended than the south, but we are advancing there as well. So many dockyards. Can I do closed economy? I can. Let's do closed economy. It's usually not the greatest idea ever, but I really do need that steel. How far from capitulation? Not even halfway there. But soon enough. We have to declare war on East Germany. Let's do that. Let's not call in any allies. They have allied themselves with Japan, that is fine. Almost everything is taken care of. East Germany has capitulated to me. Looks like a thing eating something. Like, here's a beak, here's an eye, place, whatever. Nagasaki, that is why you guys have not capitulated yet. Kokura. Japan has capitulated, and we have first pick, and all the picks, almost, apparently. Yeah, certainly looks like we can do whatever we want to them. Now, we do have the Soviet Union involved, so we have to be cautious. It is possible they'll try to puppet someone. If we try and puppet Japan, we'll get a nice navy, but I think I prefer to get their factories instead. Looks like I took everything. Thank you very much. 500 factories. Alright, the plan is we now prepare to take on another huge enemy. That might be the Allies, that might be the Soviets. What I can actually do is annex them and steal their manpower, which might actually be the better choice. I will not need them. I'll just be using my infinite manpower. I'll have several million if I do this right. Let's deploy all of these. Tiny, tiny units. They're going to steal all the Chinese manpower for me. Now, Soviet Union, I'm not going to answer your call to arms. I'm going to destroy you instead. Alright, my infinite manpower plan is almost ready. I will deploy all the units I can deploy. That will make me have, let's see how many. Thousands of units in the field. How many? How many exactly? I have 5,000 units. I don't think I've ever had that many. See? There's 1,000 guys here. But that's not the end. No, that's just the beginning. What we're going to do now is check Chinese manpower. Yeah, I haven't used all of it yet. We can still one-up this. Iraq has capitulated. And so has Spain, actually. So the right choice is to face the Soviets. Now I can annex China, but I'm not going to, not just yet. First, I'm going to give them all the land we can. So, let's find Chinese Empire, our friend. Return territory. Here you go. That should increase their manpower pool. Not as significantly as I thought it would, though. No, it did, actually. 21 million manpower. I have expeditionary forces here as well. Now let's make sure to send them home. Now, we take those 5,000 units, and we switch them into a huge template that will drain all the manpower. We will need 12 million manpower to do this, but it's just our manpower, it's just 10%. So 120 million manpower is the total requirement for this. Well, that means when the manpower starts coming in, we're going to use up all the Chinese manpower. And we just have. Total manpower, 27 million. Well, that is good enough for me. And what we're going to do now is annex China. Chinese Empire, annex. They have still not fixed the tooltip. It's costing 300, not 50. And now, all that manpower is my manpower, and I can do whatever I want with it. If I disband the army, I'll have 27 manpower here. 27 million. Time to set up an attack on the Soviets, but first I need to modify my units a bit and my templates to, well, that's a bit too many, isn't it? We also got the expeditionary forces they had. Well, I certainly don't need several thousand, so let's disband all of you. Manpower is coming back nicely. Well, it's not disbanding momentarily. It's gonna take a moment to process. Yeah, right, we're left with about 500 units and 24 million manpower in the bank. Good. This is the state of affairs. This is how I distributed my guys. And this net of orders might look like a sophisticated, masterful plan, but it's just me flailing the cursor around chaotically. Anyway, 1/3 of our forces are going to Europe, and they're going to try and take these guys out on the supplies they'll have with them, and the rest are just setting up normal attacks. Well, I can start switching you to the everyone template, which is a huge unit. Manpower, 3%. Slowly reinforcing. Unfortunately, I do have to wait for them to be at full manpower before I do anything. Otherwise, their sacrifice will be in vain. After a very long waiting period, I'm finally ready to attack the Soviet Union. Our troops in the field consist of, well, how much? Almost 10 million manpower in very well equipped units. They're not very well trained, though. I could train them up, but I don't think I need to. Let's leave the faction. Make sure their troops leave our territory. Come on, get out. Let's go for broke and justify on Moscow. That is 30 days. Now the guys over here will have supply troubles. We can supply them through convoys, but it might become impossible later on. This is going to take a long time because there's a lot of land to cover. Our justification is complete. No need to wait. Let's attack. Goodbye, Soviet Union. Goodbye. Conquer. And I'm also immediately going to attack all their puppets because you don't actually need to justify separate war goals on puppets. You can just click attack and it will happen. Time to unpause and revel in our death machine. Ah, Spain. I forgot about Spain, yes. Mongolia is probably not going to join. We'll have to do a separate war goal. Romania has joined. Really? I'm being invited into the Allies. How so? Can always leave later. Sure. I have joined the Allies. Mongolia, Republican, Spain, Soviet Union, Balkan. Yes, I will agree to that. That should merge our wars and let me invade Mongolia. Ah, damn it, I forgot. Should not have joined them, because now we're going to give India its land back. If I didn't join, we would be getting it for ourselves. We have already connected our territories through Poland. Good. Just a matter of time. Unfortunately, it will take quite a bit of time. I don't have anything left to research. Nothing significant. Mongolia has capitulated. The invasion is progressing quite well. We've eliminated Poland and Hungary, and now dealing with Czechoslovakia and Romania. We are also gradually invading Soviet territory, but that is going slowly for two reasons. One, there's a lot of Soviet territory, and two, there's a lot of Russians in there. The United Kingdom is kicking me out of their faction. That's actually the first time I've seen that happen. Okay. I'll make my own faction with Blackjack. Unfortunately, India got their stuff back, but yeah, whatever, it's fine. And Lithuania is not doing so great. Well, it's all UK's fault. If they haven't thrown me out of the faction, I would be fighting their battles for them. Now they want me back. It would set me up in a unique position to maybe do Order 66 on the allied countries down here. Probably going to throw me out again. I don't really mind. Almost there. How far from capitulation are you anyway? Quite far, yes. quite far because all the territory here that we've taken, well, they don't really have victory points there. Ooh, first nuke on Minsk. Starting to look kinda nice. Are we still holding Minsk? Yes, we are. Okay, so a capitulation is coming. And we have the greatest part of it all. Okay, let's just take it directly. Let's do some shadow puppeting and stuff like that, as we usually do. Change government? Change government? No. God damn it, that's because we're part of the Allies. And we can't puppet because the diplomacy of the leader overrides our diplomacy, and our diplomacy is communist, but there is democratic, and democratic countries can't do that. Damn it. And that's it. That's our conquest of the Soviet Union. Unfortunately, little bits and pieces were left. And there's still this Allied presence in our vicinity. Well, we can't tolerate that, can we? Now, if they don't throw me out of the faction, I might do a little bit of an Order 66. Not that it would be necessary, but we can. We can deploy our first 1,000 of shitty, weak units. You guys are going to be garrisoning stuff. Ha! They did kick me from the faction. Oh well. Now I can't do the Order 66 anymore, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. I've decided I need to set up a barrier between us and the Allies, because they're going to be attacking heavily from this side. If I can set a barrier out of puppets here, that would make me considerably safer. I wonder if I release Germany. If I were to release Germany, would it devolve into a different Germany? Let's release the German Reich as a puppet. Let's see what happens to it. This secures my borders over here, if it survives, because you never know with Germany. And now we also need to secure the south. We can release Hungary. Balkan Socialist Union. Well, I suppose I could also release Ukraine. That would keep me completely safe. Release Ukraine. Okay, and that, ladies and gentlemen, though mostly gentlemen, is going to separate me completely from the main forces of the Allies. Asia, according to some random internet maps I found, goes like this. So, we need to take British Raj, this bit, this bit, this, and this bit. The key here is to not call the puppets in. And then the enemy can do nothing about that. Well, a human enemy can, but AI doesn't. I have rearranged my forces a bit as well. Yeah, I really think the puppets should work. We'll see in a moment, I guess. Here's the war goal. Attacking Nepal. Yes, they're going to be calling everyone in, but we don't really mind. Now, if I understand correctly, show me that I'm at war. Yeah, the game is running with difficulty at this point. Yes, my puppets are not involved. And I think they will not be involved. And thus, we're safe here. I mean, they'll take the areas in between and Spain, but that is an acceptable loss. Oh crap, what happened here? Yeah, that's releasing the German Reich for you. So, never release the German Reich, I guess. If Poland doesn't join them, I'm still safe. So it might not be too horrible, although it's probably horrible. Going well so far, although very slowly, because at this date, the game runs like that. Still justifying war goals. I don't think I'm going to finish this, because of how slowly the game runs, and I would still have to justify war goals on Turkey, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Oman. But I'm going to assume that if I can, reach this area, I think that's good enough. Declared war on Turkey. I'm justifying on Portugal because Portugal has 2 cities. One over here, and one over here, and we do need them. British Raj has capitulated. Wonderful. Let's do a bit of a cleanup operation, of course. Now, how's your attack on Singapore? Poor. Almost everything taken, but we still do need the Portuguese cities, and Singapore. Still haven't taken Singapore. I must admit, at this game speed, I'm not at my best. Because it was running so slowly, I just left it running while I went to get a drink. And of course, the British landed. I'm rectifying the situation. They'll be pushed out in a moment. Finally, the justification against Portugal is ready. Macau is about to be taken, and here it goes. So, now it's only the British incursion and Singapore remaining, and the Middle East, but I've pretty much conceded that I'm not going to pursue this anymore. Oh, Australia has taken my islands. That is unfortunate, but I did mention I'm only interested in continental Asia. The Allies have landed and are retaking stuff in Europe, but honestly, I don't have enough mental strength to combat them because I was supposed to go to sleep 3 hours ago. So I'm just going to ignore this incursion and hope that I can accomplish what I've set out to do very quickly. Finally, British Malaya has capitulated. We have taken Singapore. Good. That's a lot of factories, isn't it? Alright, let's have a look at the current situation. The Allies are attacking us. Yeah, they've landed in Japan. No matter, I did say I meant continental Asia at the beginning, and we still haven't fully taken over the Middle East. Well, you know what? I am going to end it here. I'm going to classify this under good enough, because I'm very tired and the game is running very slowly and my PC is overheating. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly did enjoy the initial uncertainty of what to do depending on the situation in Europe. Anyway, that is Bhutan takes Asia. Well, almost all of it. And let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what I did right, what I did wrong, and make sure to suggest what my next challenge should be. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.